members of the panel here and members of the media. Very good afternoon to you all. I'd also like to congratulate ourselves on the successful launch of the KFEG app, and also for being one of the countries that are COVID-contained countries. I think as mentioned, we'll never be COVID-free, and we must do our part in ensuring that we remain a COVID-contained country. So thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we realize the urgent need to return formal education to a state of normalcy. Just as a way of background, we have close to 275,203 students all across our schools across Fiji, and Ministry of Education has 13,364 teachers with 1,700 plus schools. At this point, I'd also like to encourage all our teachers to ensure that they download the KFEG app, and they also contribute and do their part in ensuring that we remain a COVID-contained country. Ladies and gentlemen, the numbers that I've just put to you actually makes managing COVID-19 very extremely and a very complex issue within the education system. And this is one which required a lot of planning, and a lot of thought has been put into in ensuring that when we return to schools in a normal manner, the welfare of our teachers and our students remains a priority for us. We needed a plan to reopen in a way that would cater for a realigned school curriculum, ensuring that all of Fiji schools are on the same page. You and I both know that schools have remained closed for a period of 3 months since the first COVID-19 case was alerted in Fiji. And we as a government take every measure to ensure that no Fijian child is or will ever be disadvantaged because of where they live. As the Honorable Prime Minister has affirmed today, we have decided to open our school for year 12 and 13 on Tuesday, 30th of June. This is the first stage of our opening of schools, and of course classes will start for these students on the 30th of June, but all our teachers are requested to report to school on Monday, 29th June, in ensuring that when the children do report to school on the 30th of June, we have our facilities all prepared to kickstart the learning process. Even though we have only year 12 and 13 reporting to school, we expect all teachers, inclusive ECE, primary and secondary schools, to report to school on the 29th of June. I'd also like to encourage all teachers who are spread across the country, some in the maritime areas, to start making plans to return to their workstations before the 29th of June. As we've said, year 12 and 13 will return to normal classes on 30th of June. All other students, including ECE and our special and inclusive education, will return to school on 6th of July. However, we are very mindful that we need to battle COVID-19 in a very responsible manner, and principals, teachers, and school managements will be responsible for COVID-proofing their schools, practicing the healthy habits that we have advocated for and that we have embraced in every corner of COVID-safe economic recovery. A circular to this effect will be issued out through the divisional education offices to the heads of schools and the management to ensure how do we work and how do we practice our responsibilities for ensuring our schools are COVID-proof, and when our children do come to these premises, their welfare is paramount. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd also like to mention that apart from COVID-19, another battle that the ministry was battling with was the damages done to our schools after from TC Herald. A total of 82 schools were affected during TC Herald, 3 main ones in the Central Division, and the rest from Kandavu and Lawa Southern Lau, Vatulele and Mamanudas. We have worked very closely with the school managements, and we have tried to ensure that buildings have been repaired in cases where we could repair. However, in terms of 2 schools, Richmond High and Kandavu, we are still working with the construction implementation unit of the Ministry of Economy to see that when school resumes for all the students, we have learning spaces and shelters put in place so that these children can the environment can be conducive to the learning. And we've also been working very closely with the communities, and I must thank the school managements and the communities who have come on board and helped us ensure that the repairs, minimum repairs or minimum damage repairs have been done to this building. And we also looking at other ways, some of the other issues that children might have when they report to school. We have a lot of students whose parents earn below 16,000 annually who are on our bus fare assistance scheme. This assistance will continue, and of course those students who would wish to, those parents who may be going through financial crisis due to COVID-19, and if they qualify, we will open it up for new applications, and they will be supported. And as and when, as all students return to classes, there will be also psychosocial support provided to our children, and of course this will be done individually by schools, and heads of schools will be better equipped, like I said, through a circular later this afternoon or early tomorrow morning on how to handle such cases. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, the curriculum has been aligned, and so have we aligned our term dates for the next 2 terms. The school terms now have been realigned to accommodate for the coverage, and term 2, like I said, begins on 30th of June till the 18th of September. Term 3 begins on the 28th of September to 18th of December. Further to this, if I can reiterate on the announcement we made about external examinations, only year 12 and year 13 students will sit for the external examinations. The rest of the students from year 1, including our ECE to year 11, will undergo school-based assessment. And I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions, and I'll be ready for those later in this session. But I'd also like to thank each and everyone who has been with us, with the Ministry of Education, especially our development partners. A special thanks to UNICEF. And of course, I'd like to put on record the assistance rendered by the Ministry of Health, and of course the leadership of our Prime Minister, who has safely steered us through these hard times. And I'd like to leave you with that. A blessed Sunday, and please continue to stay safe and take all COVID-19 precautions. Thank you.